Damn. I've been going for a minute. Holy shit. You are now tuned Moon. Beat that content coming soon. Back to the regular scheduled program. This is banger, not a slow jam. Ooh, I forget. It's been a couple days, you know what I'm saying? Oh, almost been 2 weeks, but I still remember. Holy shit. Oh my god. But it's it me, man. You know what I'm saying? Like this is my shit, you feel me? Like I can't forget. But yeah. Like I've been going for a little bit. Even though I swore on everything that I was gonna do this shit like every day, consistently, whatever. I don't know. Like I don't know how to explain it. Like I just I just needed some time to like I guess like cool down and I guess just refresh my way of thinking and shit. I don't know. Like people go through shit like on the outside. Like, obviously, like I'd be cool and I'd be like, what I'm saying, like all jovial and shit on the video or whatever. But then I don't know, like outside shit, I'd be a completely different person. Like I said before in one of my older videos, like people have different sides. You know what I'm saying? Like y'all get to see the side where I'm like cool and happy, and I'll be like, what I'm saying, like just cooling and shit, whatever. And then like everybody else, like they see a whole different side that like you know just is totally different. I don't know. But yeah, everything's cool. Everything's good. Nothing bad was happening or whatever. It was just basically this dude rag acting up a little bit. Yeah, it was just basically just I don't know. I had to re reevaluate some shit. You know what I'm saying? Just like try to self therapize. That's not even a word, bro. That's not even a word. Give myself a therapy session, like 1v1, like me to me. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like most of the time when I like deal with certain shit, I know like the answers or I know why I feel this way or I know how to fix it. I just don't be like following through with it because my mind is everywhere. I'll be thinking about a whole bunch of stuff. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like the best analogy to put it is like I felt hungry. Again, this is an analogy. This is an analogy. This isn't like what I'm saying? Like, I'm explaining it through this metaphor. But basically it was like I was hungry, right? And there's literally like a plate of food just sitting right there in front of me. But it was like because there was so much on my mind, I would acknowledge that I'm hungry, but I would still be focused on other stuff and not eat that food that's in front of me. So even though that food is in front of me, and I know I should eat it, so I'm not hungry anymore. I was going through so much shit that I was just like, nah, I gotta focus on other stuff. Like this is here, but I need to focus on whatever else. And that's just a metaphor. But anyways, like now I'm saying I'm gonna eat that food. You feel me? Like I'm gonna eat that food, so I'm no longer hungry. I'm no longer starving, and I can just do all the other shit. So you know what I mean? That's the best way to put it. But anyways, that's enough for to talk about me and shit. Um, yeah, I hope y'all doing good. You know what I'm saying? Again, like of course y'all can't really tell me up front, but I mean, feel free to comment shit or whatever. You know what I'm saying down in the comments below, saying whatever. Or you can just hit me on one of my socials. You know what I'm saying, like which is down in the description below as always. Give me a follow. You feel me? I'm not rushing you, but I'm pressuring you. You feel me? But anyways, yeah. So let's talk about this video that I'm about to get into. So there's dude on YouTube by the name of Shawn Cee. I'm pretty sure a lot of y'all know him. Y'all gotta know him. If you know me, then you definitely know Shawn Cee. Like I feel like it's highly unlikely that you know about me but don't know about Shawn Cee. Like, come on. I'm small, he's big as far as like, you know, the viewing audience on YouTube and shit. But basically, like, if you don't know who Shawn Cee is, he is. I feel weird even explaining this shit because it's like I feel like he should be explaining who I am. But Shawn Cee is basically like a dude on YouTube that reviews music, albums, songs. Mostly in like the hip hop setting, like like Kendrick Lamar, JID, J Cole, brought Kanye. It's funny because actually like his video that I'm about to watch is about Kanye. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, yeah, he like reviews all types of music, mostly in the hip hop setting, but also like branch out to like more like R&B shit like that. Mostly hip hop though. And he also like gives his like opinions on like basically like the musical artists outside of like the music, like as far as like his opinions on them, or like how he feels that like a certain artist is handling a situation that's not music related or other shit, or like probably ties those things back to how it could affect their music, all that cool stuff. Like he got a really he got a lot of really good takes, you know what I'm saying? So it's like I fuck with him, obviously. I'm pretty sure a lot of y'all fuck with him too, if you know who he is. If not, then I'm gonna introduce you to him right now, so that y'all can fuck with him, because he that boy. I fuck with him, and he's funny as shit too. You mean? But yeah, that's where we're gonna go with it. And yeah. So the video now that says about Kanye is called Kanye's Problem. So I guess he's gonna be talking about like just how Kanye's been moving like outside of the music and stuff. I don't necessarily have a problem with Kanye West or anything like that, but it's just like I don't know, like lately Kanye's just been moving weird, like with the whole like Kim K shit, and him talking about like his issues as far as like with the whole parenting shit, being a father, and all this other stuff. I don't know, like the music. I don't know, like he's all over the place right now. Like I can't even. I just be like not keeping up with him, just so that I can have like, peace of mind for myself. Cause I'm just like, I feel like if I'm like up on everything that Kanye does or says or whatever, then I feel like I'm gonna be like so fucking confused and stressed out and just like, bro, what the fuck are you talking about? Like I just had to, distance myself from that. But anyways, here we go. Let's see what Shawn Cee got to say about Kanye. So. Let me hold up. Actually, gotta do my usual. Yeah, okay. There's that. This full screen. Hold up. I haven't done this in a while, y'all. I don't know. Is it? Yeah. Okay. Word. All right. I got it. Okay. All right. So here we go. We're going to see what Shawn Cee got to say about Kanye West, bro.
A documentary about Kanye West titled Genius, yes, that's the real title, is coming out, I think, next month. And Kanye basically wants the final decision and the final cut over its release. Now, the first thing that people are probably going to be worried about is whether or not Kanye is going to be truthful, honest, and transparent about how he's being genuinely portrayed over these possibly decade-old clips that will be included in the documentary. The reason I ended up making this is because I also saw a video where Kanye is directly addressing the paparazzi while he is at the airport, telling them that if they're going to profit off of his image, off of his celebrity, off of his story, he wants a percentage of everything that they earn. In Kanye's mind, a somewhat decent solution or compromise in paparazzi's invasion of privacy, at least in subjective terms, is to essentially cut their pay by redirecting it to the person that they're taking pictures and videos of, when instead the solution should be to prevent them from being able to take those videos and images and post them to the internet entirely. But see, Kanye isn't advocating for privacy. Kanye's advocating for control of narrative. About a week ago, maybe 2 weeks ago, Kanye West had a feature on the Game's song Easy, while he goes and basically responds to the narrative that's been floating around he and Kim's divorce, his children, his new relationship, and the inspiration for it so close to his divorce. Now, if y'all watched my response to that video, you'll know that I didn't feel entitled to know any of that information. I felt very uncomfortable listening to it because I felt like Kanye was trying to convince the listener of something as opposed to just revealing parts of himself that he likely wouldn't have had to reveal had he had 100% privacy in all of his reactions. We're maybe 1 to 2 weeks out from that song's release, and I see no one talking about it. Likely because immediately the day after, Kanye came out to make a video detailing his negative experiences in dealing with the Kardashian family as it relates to him seeing his children, more specifically his daughter Chicago on her birthday. But
Like, okay, like, this is what I'm talking about. Like, I don't know. Like, I hate when, and I know this happens for a lot of like bigger artists. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it could be anybody. Like from Drake to anybody, to Drake to Kanye to, I don't know, fucking G Herbo, like anybody. Like, I don't know. Like, I just hate when like it gets to a point where like when you're mentioning a musical artist or whatever, it it goes from like being a whole lot less about the music itself and just more about the drama. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just more about just the bullshit that goes on. You know what I mean? Like I'm one of those people like who likes to separate the art from the artist, but it's like when the artist just makes the art all about just bullshit that's going on in their life, like the most pettiest shit that doesn't really seem all that important. That's where you lose me, and that's what like kind of what's going on with Kanye right now. It's like I just feel like everything that happens, whether it's like music related or just him talking in general, whatever, it's just drama, drama, drama. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's no more about like this, I don't know, just like artistic integrity of just making music and then just getting back to the real life bullshit when you get back to it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, keeping those two things like separate. Like, Kanye's just like, nah, I'm gonna take the music and I'm gonna take the bullshit and I'm gonna put it together and I'm gonna like force you to deal with it. You know what I mean? And I'm just like, I don't give a fuck. Okay, I don't care. I just want to hear good music from Kanye. You know what I mean? And don't get me wrong, like Kanye still makes pretty good music. It's just, I don't know. I just feel like every time like there's like a decent song from him, there's always got to be a mere mention of some shit that I don't care about. You know what I mean? Like, not saying that like Kanye's life doesn't matter or nothing like that, but it's just like, I don't know. Like, it's just, it's going from like listening to a good album to like listening to just rants and his opinions on all this shit. Like, what was it? Like his latest song, he was talking about like beating up Pete Davidson or some shit, and I'm just like, bro, what? For what? I don't give a fuck about this shit. I don't care. Like, why? You're not touching him, bro. First of all, like, you're not touching Pete Davidson. Like, you're way too big of a celebrity to even do that. And two, it's just like, why is he even worth the mention in your song? Like, you could have did some other shit. You could have like did something clever or just talked about something completely different entirely. Like, I don't get it, bro. Like, just, I don't know. He's just too self-absorbed. I mean, like, he always has been self-absorbed, but he's just even more so just like stuck in this fucking uh I don't know, stuck in this fucking twilight zone where it's just like, instead of just trying to, move on from shit, he's just dwelling on it through like every creative medium or just every regular facet of his life. And it's just like, bro, I don't care that much. I do not care. Like, this is, I do not want like a keeping up with the West is like, season 1 type shit. Like, no, I just want to, what I'm saying? Like, I just want to hear like good shit. You know what I mean? Like, good music. See you do cool creative shit. I don't give a fuck about this drama stuff, bro. Fuck that.
Kanye's motivation for making this video and putting it out to the public was so that he could control the narrative. And again, this being his life, his personal life, I don't have a problem with him documenting his experiences. There's nothing wrong with that. If you want to tell the world all about your challenges in being a celebrity father and dealing with the pitfalls of having a relationship with someone who has so much control in whether or not you see your daughter, understandable. And I would rather him do that as opposed to make songs where he's essentially dissing the mother of his children, the relationship that they shared, and other intimate and private details about his personal life that I feel would be better introduced musically if he had more time to flesh them out, as opposed to making music responses to public narratives. But I'm linking all these things together because Kanye doesn't want or doesn't seem to care about privacy. Understandably so, Kanye cares more about what narrative and pictures being painted about him. Because at the end of the day, Kanye knows advocating for or trying to get a bill or a law in place that prevents paparazzi or people in general from taking pictures of public figures is incredibly unrealistic, and a compromise to that isn't demanding that the news outlet posting these pictures create an alternate revenue stream for the artists that they're taking these images of, because 9 times out of 10 the cash flow from that won't be lucrative enough for the artist to ever agree to being unlimitedly videoed and photographed without their permission. But again, Kanye's problem isn't privacy. Kanye's problem is narrative. And so when we get back to him releasing this Netflix documentary, and he says, I'm going to say this kindly for the last time, I must get final edit and approval on this doc before it releases on Netflix. Open the edit room immediately so I can be in charge of my own image. Now, this isn't a problem because Kanye West is a producer in the film, but there are enough people that are concerned about Kanye West's influence on the final edit because they don't understand that when you allow someone of Kanye West's stature or anyone who's having an autobiographical film written or produced or made about them, that individual is always going to have much of the say in how they are portrayed. So if Kanye West wants to be let in the editing room and he's a co-producer on the film, he should 100% have the right to how he is represented in this film. But I just want people to understand that if that is the case, do not expect this to be a 100% true, accurate portrayal or representation of all of the events that Kanye West went through from the film's infancy up until its end. I expect no form of journalistic integrity or no form of complete objective giving of information from this film. I am going to watch it. I am going to enjoy it, but I don't have that expectation of it. For instance, if you watch the movie Straight Outta Compton, when it was...
Bro, I was just about to mention shit out of Compton. Okay. Like, I was trying to pause it at a point where I could just, like, you know, like, just slide this in, but he already, like, set the floor for me. But, like, I was gonna say, like, when I love Straight Outta Compton. Like, when that movie came out, you know what I'm saying, like, I was hooked. You know what I'm saying? Like, when I saw it in theaters, I loved it. When the movie came out, I bought it. Well, technically, like, my family bought it for me because they knew how much I loved the movie, but still, like, they bought me the movie, the t-shirt that came with it, like, all that shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, huge NWA fan. You feel me? Like, I don't know. I thought the movie was dope as fuck. And I also thought it was cool as shit how they got, you know, Ice Cube's son to betray Ice Cube in this movie. Like, it was dope as fuck. Like, I really liked it. But, like, after the movie came out, there was, like, an article or two or something, like, where it was, like, a lady who knew Dr. Dre. I forget, like, what her name was and, like, what her relationship. I guess it was, like, probably, like, sexual or, like, you know what I'm saying, like, relationship wise. But, like, she was basically saying how the movie was not 100% accurate to, like, telling the full story of, like, what was going on in terms of, like, the uprising of, you know, NWA. Because, like, what was it? She was, like, saying how Dr. Dre was an abuser or something like that, or, like, something along those lines. And she was, like, saying, like, how she was upset because that wasn't, you know, shown in the film. And at first I was like, okay, yeah, like, I mean, like, that does kind of suck that, like, certain details aren't really in, like, you know, autobiographical movies like this. But then I thought about it, I'm like, but the motherfuckers who, like, are behind this movie were probably, like, yeah, like, the actual motherfuckers that were in NWA, like Dr. Dre, Ice Cube, MC Ren, obviously not Eazy-E, but, like, you know, DJ Yella, like, all of them, you know what I'm saying? Like, they would have a say in, like, how certain things are shown, how to betray, how they're portrayed. So it's like, it wouldn't make sense for Dr. Dre or whoever to be like, oh yeah, I did bad shit, so, you know what I'm saying, like, put it in the movie. And I'm not saying that that's a good thing. I'm not saying that, like, oh, like, they should completely leave bad shit out. But I'm just saying, like, any person who does bad shit and it's like they're getting something written or filmed about them, they're not gonna just come clean and be like, hey, I did this bad thing, put that in the movie or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I get that part, but it's just like, yeah, it just kind of like goes back to what Sean was saying about like how like, you know, the people who like the shit is being like made about, like they have a say in like how they're portrayed and like how everything's gonna look. Because as much as I love Straight Outta Compton, and there are parts of it that are obviously like realistic or like actually happen, there's still a lot of parts that seem very like fictitious and it's more so like, oh, this is just a beautiful like coming up story of these, you know, 5 different artists and shit like that. And it's like, you know, yeah, like it's a story that's like, what's the word? Like it's inspiring and shit, but it's like it doesn't really fully cover like the full backstory. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like this is more so just like a romanticized, you know, you know what I'm saying, like just coming up story of like the whole group and shit. And they just like briefly like gloss over like the bad, which is just like them coming apart and, you know, dissing each other and shit. But yeah. So yeah, that's basically what I was saying. Let's see what Sean's gonna say.
Was released in theaters however many years ago, and looked at it as a biographical film that was told from an unbiased point of view that didn't have any influence or inclusion from the people that the film was about, then you're crazy. Even Eazy-E's daughter took to Twitter years ago to tell people that the original movie was missing a lot of information. She wasn't dissing the film, but just saying that there was a lot of information that was missing. So it was not an accurate portrayal or an objective view of the group itself. And it being released or marketed as a movie as opposed to a biographical film from an unbiased point of view is exactly what that was. Same thing about the Wu-Tang Clan. When you have that much influence or control over how you are portrayed, it's gonna look different. I guess the thing that's giving me pause is, why would you allow your life to be recorded for years, decades even, all for preparation to release a documentary about yourself, just to at the end of that recording process say, I want to have the final cut and edit over it, as if you no longer trust the people who were filming and recording these intimate conversations, processes, or moments that you gave them consent to this entire time. I understand things can be edited a certain way to portray certain images. I'm just shocked that this is something that's just now coming up at the end of the film, at the end of the documentary. Now we're talking about how I want it to be edited, how I want it to look, how I want to be portrayed. And maybe it's maturity. Maybe Kanye's thinking about this well after the fact. Like, maybe when I was younger I should have went over this, but now that we're at this point in my life where the media has, you know, taken things that I've said out of context and also had some of my worst moments shown and strongly benefited off of, how can I have such an intimate and close part of my life revealed while also having such a large part of control in it? And that's what I think Kanye is at this point. He just wants to, if he's hated, be hated off of his own merit and his own word, rather than feel like he's being consistently misconstrued or taken out of context or just flat out lied on. I just think we're at the end. Like, we're too far into the filming process for him to want to make changes or alterations now. Just like we're too far into the paparazzi culture for him to want to make revisions to include artists to be paid for being filmed and photographed without their consent. Does he have a point? Sure. But these are impulsive things to say, and the likelihood of people adopting this culture that Kanye is advocating for is low. I would love to see this film released without Kanye's hand on it. Not because I think Kanye's going to do something strange or have his image falsely represented, but because you get the most accurate, unbiased, and objective portrayal or view of someone when they think they're not being recorded or accessed. That's why there is such a interest, I guess, in paparazzi culture and candid photography in general, because people feel like they're seeing people when they feel like they're not being watched. As creepy as it sounds, there's a lot more authenticity and intimacy in moments that you can draw from people who feel like they're not being watched. But the only reason I feel comfortable saying that is because Kanye has allowed these people to film him, all in preparation for the release of this documentary. And if Kanye does at some point end up getting the final edit, the final say over how this film looks and how it portrays him, then that's going to be okay with me too, because this isn't a biography. The moment they allowed Kanye to have any hand in production for this film, journalistic integrity went out the window. The best I think Kanye could do in this is possibly delay it from coming out. But I don't think he understands that having control over these moments doesn't change people's opinion of you when you are in direct control of how you are portrayed. You ask the average person if they wanted a movie made about them, they're going to put their best moments in the film. Only how they want to be viewed, how they want to be interpreted into the film, as opposed to just being objects to be observed. And I know talking about people in that way sounds dehumanizing, but that's essentially what you agree to when you tell people that you don't mind having an autobiographical film made about you. And you can't at the last minute be like, nah, I want to be, in on the final room floor. I want to have the final say. Nah, I want the paparazzi to pay me, even though it wouldn't be lucrative to me at all, and it wouldn't benefit their company in the slightest. Now I want to control the narrative about my personal life and my divorce and about my children, after making a song very loosely referencing them in response to the public narrative that I've allowed to go around. My biggest issue with Kanye wanting these things aren't that Kanye is necessarily wrong about the things that he wants. It's that he's always seems to be too late. People would have looked at him with far more sympathy had he come out with that video talking about him having difficulty seeing Chicago before he came out with a record addressing his divorce, or would have looked at him with far more empathy had he advocated for privacy for celebrities in general, as opposed to them being let in on monetary benefits from the tabloids. In the same way that people would have had far more empathy, I feel like, in this situation where he's asking for the final say over how he's portrayed, if he would have maybe brought those arguments or those concerns up before the recording process had even begun. On a moral scale, I agree with Kanye, but on a technical scale, he's just too late. I hope he gets these things solved and figured out, though, because honestly, I agree with him. I do think that he should have the rights to these things, but I also don't think that people should expect an unbiased point of view when Kanye has such a strong hand over all of this, if he ends up getting the final say.
Yeah. Yeah. As simple as that. Like, yeah, just simple as that. I don't know. Like, it's the best way to put it is that I don't know. I mean, it did kind of like gloss over like all the stuff that Kanye was going through and all that shit, but like, yeah, this is mostly just talking about like the whole autobiography and stuff like that. But yeah, it's like I don't know. I mean, part of me is like, I do want to see a film that's not touched by Kanye, just so I could see like how, it would turn out. But I mean, yeah, I don't know. Like, because I mean, like, I feel like even if like we were to get that, it would be like another, um, not necessarily like a piece made to smear, Kanye's image or anything like that. But it's just like, I don't know, like it could be like a lot of moments where like Kanye is being misconstrued. Not to say that like everything bad about Kanye or what he says, whatever, it's just people misconstruing shit. Like there's a number of things that Kanye has did and said that I completely do not agree with. Even though I fully understand what he's trying to say or whatever, I still just be like, I ain't fucking with that. So I mean, like, I don't know. Me personally, I would want like a untouched film to be released about him, so that like there could be a unbiased opinion or whatnot. But again, Kanye, he's an artistic guy. He wants creative control over a lot of things, and all that shit. So it's like, obviously yeah, like I didn't even know that this film was coming out, but as soon as like Shawn mentioned that the film was coming out, I was like, yeah, Kanye is definitely gonna want to get his hands on that and you know polish some shit and be like, oh no, when I said this, I meant this, or take this out, or you know what I'm saying, like da da da, like nah, like I already know, like he's gonna want to be all over that. So, or who knows when it comes out, I'll give it a look, you know, just cause like why not? Like maybe if I watch it, maybe like there'll be some parts where I empathize with Kanye on, or some parts where I just completely just change my whole viewpoint on him. I don't know. Then again, who knows? Because like if it's a film that like he got his hands on, I mean, I'm gonna have to take it with a grain of salt and be like, I don't know. Some of this might be like genuine shit. Other shit might just be like not really how he's making it seem, I don't know. But it is what it is. Like, let's be honest. Like almost everything that we like absorb, documentary wise or whatever, most of the time there's like some little shit sprinkled in there that just kind of makes the stuff like not 100% true. And again, like I said before, like you gotta take it with a grain of salt. Like there's some parts of it you could just be like, yeah, this is good, and then other parts you're just like, I don't know about that. I don't know. But yeah, that's my reaction. Hope y'all enjoyed. As always, like, comment, subscribe, and share the video if you feel like doing so. Hey, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, no pressure. But yeah, my my social media accounts and all that stuff. My social media links. I'm sorry, are in the description below as well. Um, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, be sure to check them out and like hit that follow button. I ain't pressuring you. Well, I'm pressuring you. You feel me? So yeah, that's really it. Yeah, I'm try to be consistent. Try to upload daily or whatever. If something comes up, something comes up. I'll try to put it up on my social media accounts. That's another reason why you should follow my social media accounts. So it's like if something happens where I'm not like posting every day, I'll say it in the social media shit, and y'all can know. Like just follow my socials if you feel like doing so that y'all can be updated on what's going on. You feel me? So yeah, I obviously got like a lot of stuff going on in the background. You feel me? Trying to start up my little money making endeavor and stuff like that. So like I don't have to be working these funny little jobs no more. Um, yeah, that's about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not gonna get too much into that. Like when it happens, it happens. You feel me? So yeah, big plans on the way. A lot of stuff that I'm planning to do. Whatever. Um, yeah, that's just been my life. But anyways, that's it. See y'all in the next video. Peace.